2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Indiana Outdoors Podcast.
Hello.
Yay, we're here.
Hello.
I'm one of your hosts, Jack.
And I'm another one of your hosts, Kennedy.
And I'm Rebecca.
So we're going to start off today. It seems like every episode we have a brand new person on the cast. So let's introduce Kennedy today. Kennedy, what's your middle name?
Lovely to be here. My middle name is Tanae.
Wow.
Kennedy Tanae Morgan.
wow.
Very unique. I like it. Well, cool.
I don't know how my parents came up with that one, to be honest. Never asked. Never
asked?
Maybe you should do that sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe I should. I kind of like a mystery, though. That way I like choose my own destiny a little bit. I'm like, it can mean this, it can mean that.
You can, I suppose, Alrighty, well, let's hop into today's topic. So, I feel like in today's culture, we all love cryptids. Like, what? It just came back. Everyone was like Mothman for just a second. I don't know why. But did you know Indiana has their own cryptids? That's
Ooh.
right. We have a local Indiana cryptid. So what we're going to do here today is I'm going to show you a picture of a cryptid.
Yeah.
You're going to guess its name and its backstory, and then I'm going to tell you how wrong you are.
Oh,
wow.
That's right.
That
we got
sounds
3 on the docket, all from here in Indiana. Isn't that neat, fellas?
Very neat.
That's crazy.
Let's guess some.
Oh my
here.
gosh,
Let's see
you
what we
came
got.
so prepared.
I came wildly prepared. You're not ready for it. I don't know how to hide this. Okay. I'm gonna put this back.
You should have brought a white sheet of paper.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't think about that. So I'm gonna also show these images on screen. So
Okay.
bam.
This Godzilla-looking
This
creature.
this is
No,
this
that's-
is our creature.
Literally the Loch Ness Monster.
Okay.
With a turtle.
So I'll let you guys get a closer inspection
I
of this
think
bad boy.
I'm gonna call this bad boy Mr. Angry Turtle Man.
Mr. Angry Turtle
Mr.
Man.
Angry
Sounds
Turtle
about
Man.
right.
Do you think his mother named him that?
I think that she calls him that when he's being a little bit cheeky. He's being a little mean.
Yeah,
He
but a
calls
cheeky
him
turdy.
a cheeky turdy.
Definitely.
And his backstory, let's see here. I mean, he seems troubled, but
He does seem troubled.
he
is-
does seem
He
troubled.
looks
for
hungry.
sure.
He looks hungry.
I think that he's had some competition with his siblings or something.
Ooh.
And like
Ooh, I bet it was
Siblings.
toxic.
yeah.
Very toxic.
And this is him raging out,
It is.
I see
like
that.
crashing out.
You know, I see like an older brother that's always outshining him in a way, like Harvard for turtles, whatever
He's the
Harvard for
middle
turtles would
child.
be. Yep, always overlooked. No one's really
Yep.
paying attention to him. Very
Yeah,
much see
that's
that.
what's going on.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. His nickname is Oscar.
Okay.
Yep.
I knew it was the
okay.
Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, so it wasn't Angry Turtle Man. We have Oscar, and this is that's his nickname.
That's
so
his
it's
nickname. That's not
full
even his real name.
I'm completely lost then.
Yeah.
To be fair, his full name has nothing to do with Oscar. It's just a name, okay? It's like if your name was Don Tavius and your nickname is Chad.
Okay,
You know,
so
like-
very unrelated.
Right,
So
completely.
Nothing to do with
Listen,
it.
he can be anybody. He can be Leslie for all we
He
know.
could
Yeah.
be.
He could be Leslie. I'm locking in Leslie. Actually, I have a good feeling about
You're
that.
locking in Leslie.
I'm locking in
We
Leslie.
had someone named Leslie last year. Maybe that's him.
He was the last podcast producer before me.
Yeah.
What?
Yes,
the
he
legacy
hosted
of Leslie
this.
lives
so
on.
this is him in manifest form right now with us.
Yes.
Lovely.
That's
Our very
crazy.
own Indiana native.
Welcome
All right.
back.
Well, whoops, I kicked your mic.
Were we
That's
correct?
interesting. In what? In what? Were you correct that his name is Leslie?
Yes.
No.
Dang it.
This is the Beast of Busco, affectionately named
Ooh.
Oscar, was an alleged giant alligator snapping turtle, reported from Folk Lake near Churubusco. So, the Beast of Busco and Churubusco.
Okay, bees.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see. Churubusco is in northern Indiana of the United States, and this happened during the late 1940s. The story briefly gained attention as a result of the increasingly dramatic attempts by the lake's owner, Gail Harris, and other locals to capture the animal. I don't know what, the actual story is.
Okay.
I think, if I'm guessing, look, this is the only character who I actually struggled to find the real story of. But I believe it's just a big turtle someone saw and went, that's the beast. We got to get it.
That's Oscar.
That's
Right?
Oscar. I want to know how Oscar came about.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. The Beast of Busco, also known Oscar.
That's
who,
crazy.
who gave you that name?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I love the Beast from Busco. So let's move on to our next cryptid, our next Indiana outdoor cryptid.
Moving on along.
This
Wow,
is
yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
this is a thing.
Angry porcupine. I don't know why I keep calling everyone
you know
angry,
who
but
that looks like?
Does he look happy?
That
Or
looks
she?
like the grandma from the Croods.
It does look like Crude's grandma. A little like the same energy for
It's
sure.
just, yeah,
It's definitely the
kinda
same
just-
energy.
A
that's
little
what it's
feral,
Yeah, for sure. She,
nimble.
I don't know. What
I'm gonna go Lady Spikes here. I don't know
Lady
if she's got
Spikes.
some spikes. Maybe
You've got some
Lady
interesting
Spikes.
Yeah,
names.
that's-
names.
I mean, I'll go with it because
If we're
that sounds
guessing
about
names,
right.
if we're just pulling names out of thin air, I mean, you
Well,
gotta be.
I mean, make some
interesting at it.
inferences. Lady Spikes, you just said a woman and spiky.
Is this not a woman that's
And
spiky?
spiky?
I mean, like, guys, you're seeing the picture here. Is that not a woman that's spiky?
No,
like,
yeah,
I
that's
feel
true.
like.
Okay,
That's like other alternative porcupine lady. Like,
alternative porcupine.
Okay,
lady.
there we
Yeah.
go. I mean, I know you already know the name, but I was like, what are you feeling?
I
for
mean,
this?
yeah, I really do agree. She's spiky. She's looks like a lady. Maybe I don't know really.
Maybe
I
What
don't
do you
really
think
know.
is
goblin
going on
creature?
with her staff there? Her
Wow.
broom.
broomstick,
Oh my
like maybe
God.
Yeah.
witchy, like witch
Yeah.
vibes.
Is
Very
this like an evil spirit type thing?
And also just
Yeah.
the head.
true.
I feel like I don't think the head is in. Well, you'll see when I explain it. But the head's new. The head I only saw in this one, but I liked the depiction of her so much that I didn't care that there was a head in it. Because she's very original looking, isn't she?
She's very original looking.
she is.
Okay, let me not play off the spikes here for a little
Uh-huh.
bit.
Make some inferences.
Some inferences. She looks. I don't know what kind of like maybe like a very moist environment. She looks like she lives in like a
Yes,
like
the
a
swamp.
yeah
you
the
know?
swampy
You do know
area,
these
I'm
are all
getting.
from local Indiana.
You know,
She's not from the
just-
south. She's
She
not
could
from
have an
the Florida
accent.
swamps.
She could have a very thick country
She's
accent.
from
Have
the
you heard
creek,
her speak?
You know.
The creek.
The
You're right.
creek.
That's what we have.
She's from the water fountain out back. I mean,
I mean,
Oh my
look at her
very
feet. They kind of
goblin.
look like
yeah.
little. They kind of are webbed. I mean, I can't really actually see. Hold on.
Take a better look at that.
Yeah. Inspect them toes.
Expect them toes.
Them
Are they
dogs.
webbed? Are they webbed?
They look interesting. I don't know if they're webbed,
I was
but they
gonna say.
they look like they would do very well in water.
Swimming.
I will say.
Okay.
So you find this to be aquatic. You saw all this and went, looks like it swims.
Okay, I have faith in this lady here. I feel like if she wanted to, she could put some miles. She could swim. I feel like she could swim.
I feel like she's dangerous.
She's
like,
well,
Well, that. The skull might give it away.
you know, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
a tad.
A
Yeah.
tad. All right. Well, this
And who is this lady?
is, according to the legend, Pukwudgie. A Pukwudgie. So,
Pukwudgie.
Woodgie.
I like my name
Pukwudgies
better.
can appear and disappear at will. Now, shapeshifting is a very common form of creature that like happened in this era of people. There's always the shapeshifters because, you know, you think it's a porcupine or something. Oh, next time you see it, you think it's a beaver.
crazy.
It's just all different. The
Okay.
people missing the same person, animal thing. I don't know. Anyway, so this creature looks like a porcupine from the back and is a half troll, half human from the front. Trump. I don't know why I got
Trump.
political.
Really jump
Hello.
scare right
Whoops.
there.
And
Sorry,
it
Peter.
walks upright. Now, this thing lures people to their deaths by using magic and launching poison arrows, also creating fires. Now, Native Americans, this was a Native American belief. Some of our local Indiana Native Americans. I
Very
couldn't
cool.
tell you off the top of my head what those tribes were. I think we had Potawatomi, but I don't think
Yeah.
that's the tribe that came with this person. Anyway, the Native Americans believed that the Pukwudgies were once, I can't read. What is happening?
Reading's
They were
hard.
once friendly to humans, but then turned against them and were best left alone. According to lore, a person who annoyed a Pukwudgie would be subject to nasty tricks by it, or subjected to being followed by the Pukwudgie and would cause trouble for them. They are known to kidnap people, push them off cliffs, attack their victims with short knives and spears, and use sand to blind their victims.
Sand?
Sand.
I told you it was
We
aquatic.
have the Indiana dunes. I guess we have sand.
That's true.
Yeah.
Also the creek.
Oh, the creek.
The
We have
creek.
sandy creeks here.
There's a sandy creek in my hometown. I don't know.
Interesting.
I
There
live
we
in
go.
Indiana.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Anyway, yeah, so this Pukwudgie is very interesting. Some other versions I saw, she is like trollish, but she's a bit pudgier. you know. Her name is Pudgewudgie.
Pudgewudgie.
Or Puckwudgie, my bad. Puckwudgie.
I love how Lady Spikes wasn't accepted, but Puckwudgie was the actual name we
Right.
were supposed to be landing on
Yeah,
here.
I don't even know. where
Lady
I
Spikes is a little too respectable.
Well, okay, well, excuse me for trying to give a lady some
Well,
respect
maybe
around here.
maybe the humans did something.
Women are respected at Indiana Outdoors.
Apparently not if you're a Puckwudgie.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you're mythical, maybe not, I guess.
I guess not. It's crazy.
Anyway, the last one we have is on the back of my answer sheet here.
Okay, okay.
And this is one of my
I'll
favorites.
trade ya.
So don't look at the back because the answer is there.
Flip it over.
Flip it over
Don't do
really
it.
quickly.
Don't do it. So this thing,
What am I looking at?
this thing, oh, I lost the paper. This thing flies. As you can see in the picture, it's flying over a crowd. And this is actually a depiction of a very specific town in the 1800s, I believe.
Ooh.
Is this it also down
Yeah.
there?
Yes, there's multiple different depictions of what it looked like.
Okay, so we got this whole scene going on up here, and then we also just have a little close up so we can really expect the features we have going on with this guy.
Yeah, you know.
Now, the top picture, you can't really, like, it doesn't really depict it like this, but according to legend, this creature is white, actually. It is a white flying thing.
It's like a ghost
Mm-hmm.
little
I think
thing.
looks like it haunts towns. Like it goes to people
It
are
kind of looks like that one alien thing from Nope.
from
I
Nope,
didn't
it
see
does.
Nope.
It was a good
You
one.
should see Nope.
It's a
I
very good
should.
movie.
Yeah.
Darn, I have a lot of movies on my watch list
Yeah.
right now.
Well, if you want to know about this creature's lore, you should watch Nope. Actually, don't.
This
You
creature may
really
be
think
featured
Jordan
in
Peele
Nope.
was like,
Totally.
you see, I need a creature. What if we go to Indiana? What if we go to Indiana and see
I
what
don't
they were
know.
doing back in
He's
the
deep
day?
like that.
He's he's really just
Deep into that Indiana lore.
intricate
Love,
detail.
like, okay, so just based on, we got a little town here, we got them going up. I mean, I can't really tell on the picture, but they don't look frantic. They all just look like they're kind of looking up and being like, woo.
Yeah,
I mean-
that's what I was saying. I was like, why are they not freaking out?
Yeah, that's for my first thought was okay. So maybe this is some kind of like town fable where it's like, oh, if you don't eat your vegetables, this monster
gonna
thing
eat
is
you.
gonna come and eat you.
Okay, is
But
this its
only
like
you.
mouth? Like, what is that?
Oh yeah, this right here. What do we
That,
got?
would you like to know?
I would like to know.
It is a
yes.
glowing red eye.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, it's hard to tell in this picture. The only pictures that did have the glowing red eye were like cartoons, and I wanted this to not look cartoony.
Got it.
right. you want it
Here's
to
a picture of the
freak us
cartoon
out.
one. Bow!
Whoa.
There, only they
Whoa.
get to see it.
We didn't get to see it. I hope
know.
it was cool.
I hope
So,
I remember to edit that in.
This eye is the same as this eye down here, I'm assuming, or is it this thing?
Because these guys have different. These guys have completely different vibes going on.
Yeah, this guy looks chill. I don't know
Yeah,
what
he's
this guy
chill. What
wants
is-
to do.
I'm
Look-
trying to figure it out. I can't. They seem
They're
content.
cousins, all right? They're cousins. That's
He
Dale and
looks like
Gregory.
someone made him really mad.
Yeah, he looks angry, but the people don't look. They're not like. There's no panic. They're all very
They're
content.
like, there it goes again.
Yeah, so maybe he's a
Just-
protector, or they just coexist with
maybe,
this thing.
maybe it has calmed their minds.
What if it has
calming
like,
monster.
yeah, it just controls people's minds.
It
Mind
doesn't, but...
control.
Oh, darn it.
Or I guess if it does, it did so well, we never even found out.
Wow.
Well, there
Yeah.
you go.
They mind controlled him to never tell
you
anyone.
go.
Here we are, a century and a half later.
Move.
Yeah.
As of a name, or
yeah.
is there any names coming to mind when you look at this creature here?
I'm gonna go with flying snake creature.
Flying
You
snake creature?
are so bad.
Okay, and I'm gonna go with Squiggles.
Squiggles. I
Squiggle
like
sounds like a
Squiggles.
better. Well, I'm not good at naming things.
I like Squiggles, the Squiggler. Okay, let's reveal. This actually doesn't have a name. Isn't that
Ah,
crazy? Wait, yes it
what?
does.
So he could be Squiggles.
Yes it does. I'm
Could
stupid.
be Squiggles.
Hold on, what was it called? Oh no, I didn't write it down.
It's called
Oh no,
Squiggles.
a mystery.
Hold on, I'll look it up.
Oh my
Darn it.
gosh!
Call him out for
Jack.
it.
I keep punching it. The radio. Yeah, the radio. Okay, hold on. The
Getting some info here.
what?
I want to know
was
what
this
you're typing
called?
into Google right now.
Very hard
I'm
to
typing
Google.
as much. Oh, it's called the Crawfordsville Monster.
Boo.
Yeah, I'm so
Creature
sorry.
was so far off, I guess.
Yeah, we could do way better with
Creature's
naming.
terrible.
Guys.
Yeah, I can't believe I came up with that. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
What's the lore we have going on with this
So,
little fella?
on September 5th, 1891, the Crawfordsville Journal reported that 2 ice delivery men sighted a strange phenomenon that hovered in the air above their location, describing it as a horrible apparition that filled them with dread.
Oh.
A similar sighting was reported by a Methodist pastor and his wife. Now, the Crawfordsville Journal described it as about 18 feet long and 8 feet wide, and moved rapidly through the air by means of several pairs of side fins. It was pure white and had no definitive shape or form, resembling somewhat of a great white shroud fitted with propelling fins. There was no tail or head visible, but there was one great flaming eye, and a sort of a wheezing, plaintive sound was emitted from a mouth which was invisible. Invisible mouth?
Invisible mouth.
I think they just
knew it
assumed
had
there
a
was a
mouth.
mouth,
Yeah.
right?
How do you know it has a mouth?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It flapped like a flag in the winds, and as it came on and frequently... in the winds as it came on, and frequently gave a great squirm as though suffering unutterable agony.
Oh. Poor
Yeah.
guy. I mean,
Man.
maybe that's why the people were filled with dread when they laid eyes on this guy.
According to interviews
crazy.
conducted years later by Crawfordsville reporter and 14 Society member Vincent Gaddis, hundreds of residents observed the phenomenon on the following evening, and some claimed they could feel the monster's hot breath as it swooped over them. Now, this next passage explains that we know what this was. It was a real thing.
Wow.
What?
Yes, it was a real thing that happened. It's not like a legend, but it's completely normal. What do you think this creature was?
Oh, okay. So it's like a natural
I have
phenomenon.
Yes.
Squiggling around in agony is something
Yes.
in the sky.
What do you
It's
think?
probably
What do
like-
you think the shroud
Not a clue.
of flying white was?
Well, okay. I don't think it's a tornado. I just don't.
Ruling out tornado.
I feel like it probably has some
Yeah.
obscure name that I have no
Right.
idea
What is something people in the olden day would be like, oh, it's a monster, but it's just like
Yeah.
actually a perfectly normal like
A gust of
phenomenon.
wind.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a great perspective because this is going to be one of those things where it's like this is a completely normal thing.
Ah.
People got freaked out.
So you might not be too far off with your tornado thing going over
I guess
there.
not. I mean, I've never seen a white tornado though.
And neither have I.
Then maybe it's not. I don't know.
cumulus
what to tell
cloud.
ya. A low flying cumulus. Is that
Yeah.
is that your answer?
I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess so. I don't know. A dust storm.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh no.
Oh no, it's agony. The descriptor word of agony is what's really getting me here, because something's really got to be going on for you to
I
say
don't know.
agony.
I.
What do we got?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
2 local men, John Hornbeck and Abe Hernley, followed the wraith about town and finally discovered it to be a flock of many hundred killdeer birds.
Ah,
killdeer?
dang it.
Yeah.
Those little things that like perk.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's just bird. It was a flock of birds, guys.
Birds.
These 1890ans got so freaked out from a flock of birds.
That's actually really funny. What was
That's
the glowing eye
crazy.
that they saw?
Right?
And the invisible mat, like they're just adding in.
No.
there,
And what
it
was
seems
this
like.
unutterable agony they spoke of?
They were filled with dread when they saw it.
right?
Oh my gosh, something in the sky that I
that's
don't
insane.
know what it is.
The Crawfordsville Journal suggested that Crawfordsville newly installed electric lights disoriented the birds, which caused them to hover above the city. The birds' wings and white underfeathers likely resulted in misidentification. So their newly installed
Likely.
electric lights are suspected to be the reason why they went crazy and just started flocking around the town,
That's crazy.
That's interesting.
right? Crazy.
Technology ruins everything, guys.
Exactly. It was ruining it in the 1890s, you know,
Yeah.
when you die at age 13 of meningitis. And it's ruining things now.
Exactly.
How dare these people live so long?
And we're
How
using
dare
it
they?
right now.
I'm so sorry.
We
I
are.
am a hypocrite, aren't I?
Yeah.
Very much so, but it's okay.
How dare I? Anyway, that's all I prepared for this.
Awesome.
Yay.
So, what do you guys want to do now?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What should we talk about? Have you guys ever seen a killdeer bird?
I've actually not.
I have not
What?
seen a killer bird.
I feel like
We,
they
we
always.
probably have, just didn't
Yeah,
know
but
that's
just
what it was.
haven't just recognized
They're
it.
like, so they like hop on their 2 legs. Every bird has 2 legs. Hello.
Or all 4 of
I
them.
mean, yeah, you know.
Or the
You never
six
know.
of
But
them.
they're like really long. They hang out like near watery places, and then they obviously are like white and then they have like brown stripes on the top.
Mhm.
But they're pretty decently sized. I mean, they're not like, I would say like they're the size of maybe like, what's the bigger one, a crow or a raven? Or
Which I don't know. I feel like
I
a
don't
raven's probably
know.
bigger.
A raven sounds like it's bigger.
Yeah.
But
okay, so
yeah,
then
we'll
they're
go
probably
with
about the
raven.
size of a crow.
Okay.
So
Which one's bigger? Not
bigger,
that one.
not that one. Yeah.
Probably the crow.
But
All
yeah,
right.
I like that gets me all the time. I
Wow.
literally don't know which one's bigger. I don't know.
Is this a common problem you have?
Yes,
What?
Bird sizes.
bird sizes.
Birds.
I'm also kind of obsessed with birds, so there's that.
Okay. What's your favorite bird?
Yeah.
My favorite bird is a goldfinch.
What's your least favorite bird? What's the bird that you
Ooh.
hate?
What bird do you have
What
beef
bird
with?
keeps you up at night?
keeps me up at night? There's this like freaky dinosaur bird. I forgot.
Oh,
I
freaky
forgot what it's
dino.
called.
Dino pterodactyl.
It like makes a noise and it's like gray.
Is it real?
It kind of looks like a dodo bird. Yeah. It's like
Does it make its noise with its beak?
yes.
Does it like clack it?
Yes.
Yeah, I've
you
seen
seem
that.
to know. You seem to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it also freak you out? Are you unsettled by
It's
this?
huge.
Oh
It is. Wow.
That keeps me up at night. I'm like, why does
Yeah.
that still exist? And how have we preserved it long enough?
It looks.
all these
It
years.
is like you could literally look up dinosaur bird and
And
it'll
it'll probably
show up,
pop up.
because I think
Yeah.
that's like what people have
Gracious.
been nicknaming it. It's
I mean,
terrifying.
yeah.
Although
I gotta see
honestly,
this bird,
we
guys.
get heron here, and heron are so much bigger than I remember them being. But like they'll
Yeah.
be in the creek where I'm walking my dog, and that thing is like almost as tall as me. It's enormous. It just stands in the water staring.
Yep.
Menacingly.
It's terrifying. It's huge.
I
It's got a
know.
big wingspan too.
Right. But then it flies away, and you're like, wow, how beautiful.
Yeah.
Off she goes.
Yep.
Right. I mean, it's also loud when it flies. Like you can hear that
the
thing
flaps
swooshing.
are like
it's
It's
revving up.
enormous.
You're
Yeah.
like some
getting
motor
its
in
engine
there.
going.
We actually have Indianapolis 500 birds here, believe it or not.
Wow.
We've been training. We're a
That's
fast
crazy.
state. I don't know what to tell you.
That's crazy.
We're a fast state only in cars, not politically or socially. But in cars, we zoom, brother.
And in birds.
For sure.
And in birds.
Yeah.
I doubt heron are the fastest birds, but I don't know what's faster. I bet an eagle's
haven't really-
faster.
Yeah,
Probably.
I'm not versed in bird speeds.
Bird
Yeah,
speed.
bird
neither.
speeds.
Have you guys ever seen a bald eagle, like in the wild?
In the wild, I went
Not
to
in the
Alaska
wild.
over the winter, and they just have them there.
Oh,
Yeah.
just chilling.
Or over the summer, not the winter. Jesus.
That makes sense.
No, over the summer. It's very pretty there. It's very pretty. But
Always wanted to go.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's a cool state.
Wait, when did you go? Did you go in the winter? or
Over the summer, this last
Summer.
summer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Because is Alaska one of those like places where it gets like really dark?
In the
for-
winter, it is dark for most hours of the day.
Mm.
We went over the
Mhm.
summer where it was light for most hours of the day. So we
Yeah.
had blackout curtains in our room.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Mhm.
I don't
And
know
it was the
if
same when I went
So
to
you could
Iceland.
sleep. Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
like bright we only had 2 hours of darkness in Iceland.
Oh.
But while we were there, we could see the aurora borealis.
Mhm.
Whoa.
Because do you remember that time when like you could see it in Indiana? Like you could just
Yeah,
look up
yes.
and it was there.
Yep.
It was really strong over in Iceland. So yeah, you could just look up
Wow.
and see it.
Beautiful sight. Beautiful
Right.
sight.
I've never seen it.
It's like a lot of people's life goals, but
Mm-hmm.
then it'll just not show up for a month, and it's just sad when you go all the way up there and can't ever see it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Especially if that's the
Yeah.
whole reason
Yeah.
you're making the trip. It's
Yep.
like, wow.
At that point, just stay another month. Like I
Might as well
would.
move there.
Right.
I mean,
Cancel my
move it till you
flight.
see it. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, Iceland's very pretty. It's very expensive.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I
place.
tell you what. But they have this beautiful gay road. It's a rainbow road.
I've seen that.
Go-
I
gay
love
road.
that road.
That's so cool.
It was great. We ran up it. Amazing. I'm sure
Wow.
it's probably dangerous. I don't know if you could drive on it. I imagine it's dangerous to drive on it.
But it's beautiful.
Not to drive.
Wait, did you call it a gay rainbow?
Yeah, it's the gay
I was
rainbow
like,
road.
This
I
is
don't
a
know
win
what-
for the gays, guys.
It probably isn't gay, but it is a rainbow road. I don't know if it's
is a
it's
win.
a pride thing. I don't know if it's a pride thing, but I love that road. And at the top
Wow.
is it's the church, and it's this huge concrete church. It's very gorgeous. I can't remember what it's called. Well, it's all Icelandic.
Right.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce it actually, but no, that was in Reykjavik, and so it's very pretty there.
Lovely,
Wow,
lovely,
wow.
lovely.
Yeah.
Definitely on the list.
Yeah.
Yep. What?
I-
So yeah, cows.
So, cows.
What would you
Cows.
rather be in life? A dolphin or a Highland, you know the fluffy cows?
Yes.
A Highland
Yeah.
cow.
A Highland cow.
Well,
100%.
I know this, dolphins. Don't they say like everyone's always like, oh, we love dolphins. There's some
Dolphins are,
not-"
like,
but
so
are they like really
mean.
mean? I was like, I don't want to be a dolphin. They're mean. I'll be a Highland cow.
And then what if you're the good dolphin and then you get bullied by the mean dolphin?
Some dolphins
Yeah.
are sex offenders.
Yes, I've
They
heard of that
are. I
too.
have heard of
And they
that.
eat babies.
They eat babies.
Yeah.
Baby
Yes.
eating sex offenders are what
A
the
menace to
dolphins like to
society.
do.
They are.
They're on so many
I
lists.
will not be a dolphin. What are you choosing? Also, the cow.
Well, I just wanted to be the cow. It sounds so much more relaxing.
You chose the worst animal ever and then just chose the cow.
Yeah. Think about it. You get to be a nice furry cow. You get to enjoy your winters warm because you're just
Much
you're
rather
insulated
do
by
that,
yourself.
yes.
Isn't that great?
Unless you're someone that,
Eats Highland cows.
yeah, then that would
Oh,
kind of,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But why would you want to do that?
I don't feel
Sounds
like
like
Highland
healthy.
cows are eaten. Like, I
I
guess
feel
I
like,
don't know. I'm
yeah.
sure they have been eaten, but like I
They
feel
don't
like they're
seem
a
like
dairy
they
thing.
would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem very much like they're just there for the dairy. We're not.
They're
taking
just there for the
them.
vibes.
They're
You
just
know?
for the vibes. The
You know,
revived
I would
animals.
braid their hair. I
That
don't
would
know
be
how to braid.
nice.
I'd learn just to do it. I feel like it's
You
got to
don't
be
know
a
how to
thing.
braid, and you got all that hair.
No, why would I know how to braid? I know how to tie it in a ponytail. I know how to have
Whoa.
dead ends. See all these?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, it's my fault.
Braid
My wife's
tutorial.
cousin is a barber, hairstylist.
Hairstylist.
Yeah,
Mm.
and like a big boy, I should schedule an appointment. But that's scary.
It's
Even though
scary.
it's a person I see at every holiday.
Wow.
Wow.
Still very scary
Yeah.
to.
Really,
schedule
I'm
an appointment.
lazy. It's more that. It's more that. But you know
Yeah.
what?
We'll get around to it eventually,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps.
I mean, I try to braid my dog's hair. It
How'd
doesn't
that
really
go?
work out.
How did
but
it go?
he's like a Sheltie mix.
Mm-hmm.
He's like kind of long hair, but he like sheds a lot, so I'll braid it and then it'll just like come off, you know,
Yeah, just
in
like
bits.
Mm.
And also, have you guys seen those videos of like the dogs like laying out in the sun and then like a bird just comes in and like grabs fur while
gonna
they're
Oh my
sleeping?
God. Is
Wait,
it
you've
like
never
hurt the
seen
dog?
I have seen
No,
this.
like he's
Are
still
they-
sleeping because it's like their winter coat coming off or something
Oh.
like that.
The bird's just taking some. The bird's
Yeah.
like, I'll borrow some of this from you.
You know, just for my babies.
I have not. I
Just for
have.
the babies.
Shopping.
I have
Their
seen
old
like bird nests near houses just being filled
Yeah.
with like dog hair, like
Yeah.
especially if it's a woolly puppy.
You know,
Mhm.
sometimes
But,
you just gotta take it straight from the source.
Exactly.
guess.
The best of the best for your
I
kids.
guess, man. The dog's probably happy.
Probably.
To be
He didn't wake up.
A little
so
lighter.
he was
He
fine.
didn't care. He won't even
Dog
notice.
doesn't care.
No.
You won't even notice.
Yep.
Anyway, so how about let's see, how long have we been doing this? Oh, we've actually been doing pretty good. So let's how about let's close off with our let's see. Wait, we started this at 17 and it's 43. We didn't start it at 17, but a little after.
A tad
Not that you guys know. You weren't paying attention.
I don't know
Were
what's
you?
been going on
Were you?
back here.
So how much time is 43 minus 17? What is that?
I'm
You're a
pretty
geologist.
Mental- Why does that mean that I can? Buddy, I specialize in rocks. I don't specialize in quick math.
Okay, 17 plus 17 is 38.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Okay.
So that would mean
38 plus 6. Wait, 5.
oh.
38 plus 5.
See,
Wait,
that confused me so
No.
much. I don't even know where to go
17
from
plus
there.
5. So that's 23. We're going to do our final question, guys.
Okay.
It'll be a long final question. It's normally a long one. So, Rebecca, I'm really sure
Yes.
you've answered this question.
Okay.
The stew question.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes,
So
I'm familiar with this.
if we as Indiana Outdoors were to go outdoors in Indiana in
Hmm.
Christie Woods and start ourselves a stew, a perpetual stew, a long-lasting stew that the world is going to live and breathe upon.
Wow.
But your enemy Terrance is coming.
Terrance.
And you
dare
hate
they.
Terrance. Terrance is the worst. Terrance smells
Oh,
kind of
no.
funny.
Take
you
a
know.
shower.
Stinky
Yeah.
guy.
Now, Terrance is in charge of the whole thing, and he is going to have the final bite, but you have an opportunity to add one ingredient into the potluck to spite Terrance.
Oh my gosh.
What is your spite ingredient?
I know what it's going to be.
I'm scared of my first initial thought to continue.
Is everyone else eating out of this too? Or is it just
It's
him?
just Terrance.
Well, Terrance is the one going first, so in theory,
never
Terrance is
mind.
going to go, this is gross, and then it'll be a dead potluck. But it's okay, because
Okay.
others, we are all in this together. We are all spiking the Terrance stew.
okay, we're
Right,
all
okay.
everyone. Okay, so
I got you.
got it.
I'm thinking Wasabi.
Wasabi.
That's a
Yeah.
good. See, I was gonna go something towards that line. Maybe like just like a whole lot of soy sauce or something like to make it real like you taste it, you mean like just immediate there's that reaction, like real salty. So maybe just like a ton of like soy, like just straight up just a ton of salt. Just dump a whole bunch of salt in there.
Just put a salt rock.
Yeah, just a
like for licking.
There we go. There, Caesar geology is coming in handy there.
Yeah.
I'll just throw a bunch of
Totally.
actually regular rocks. I'm just gonna throw a bunch of rocks in
You
there.
wouldn't be able to taste it. I guess if you.
But I would know, and it would make me giggle.
There's obsidian in here.
They sink to the bottom.
But I would know, and it would make me giggle. I would be like,
And then you tell all of us, and it would
I
also
would.
make us giggle.
exactly.
But you know
a little
what?
inside joke. I'll get him. That's how you do it. I'll get him emotionally. We'll all be laughing and giggling at this inside joke, not including him, and he'll be sad in the corner.
Eating his wasabi.
Oh my
too.
God.
The mental games.
You
the
went for
mental
his mental
games.
health. You're like, how can I just make this guy go crazy?
Good luck, Terrance. There's no therapist out here.
I took the mental route. What would you do? What are you adding?
I was gonna add like anise or black licorice.
Oh.
You know?
okay. People don't
I
typically
guess-
like that taste.
I guess it's not the worst thing. You guys went so much more violent. I just was like,
I
what's
said
a gross
this was
thing?
my worst enemy, and he was stinky. So
violent. I just gave him some rocks, and this is our worst enemy. I mean, I feel like I could do a lot worse for your worst enemy. I feel like I was
Yeah.
kind of
you
tame.
could probably
on him.
poison him.
Yeah, arsenic.
like-
I could have said arsenic.
Literally.
Guys. I more meant like I don't like pumpkin. Give him something gross.
The question was not clear.
No, you're right.
This scenario, it sounds like Terrance is an awful guy. We hate him. He's our mortal enemy, and he's a problem that needs to be dealt with.
I guess I built that up more than I meant to. You don't like the guy. You want a bad
Okay.
stew. Y'all were like, let's spike it. Let's give him wasabi. Let's feed him rocks.
And they would sink to the body. You said he wouldn't notice them.
But what if it's a potato stew? This man's just gonna like swallow a whole potato. He's a freak, you know.
He's a freak.
He's a freak.
Well,
He's just eating straight
If
rocks.
he's swallowing
Okay.
potatoes whole, maybe he should swallow a rock.
Let me
I
think
don't
of-
make the
I'm
rules.
trying to
But
think of a
imagine
nicer
passing just a rock. That would hurt.
That would hurt a lot. Okay, let me think of a nicer one since we don't want since we don't wish actual harm on Terrance. I don't know, maybe a lot of mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
A lot of mayonnaise. I feel like that'll be
Mayo
very
de noche.
off-putting. I feel like that's off-putting in a stew. Like you wouldn't
Yeah.
you wouldn't
Gosh,
expect to have
yeah.
just a spoonful of mayonnaise in your mouth. when you
Yeah.
eat the stew.
Oh well,
Go with that.
I think the mayonnaise would kind of disintegrate.
But with the
Wouldn't it
flavor,
disintegrate
would
into
you
the
not
stew?
like if you put
The
a lot of
flavor
it
would be
in?
bad,
I feel like
yeah.
the flavor would still mess up the stew. So I would do something like that instead of the rocks. You're welcome, Terrance.
You know what? You know what? Hershey chocolate does this thing where it has like the shell on their chocolate. Do you know what the chocolate shell is? So like when you
What-
put it, like I think it's when you put the chocolate on a cone, it then makes like the cone shelled, like dipping chocolate.
Oh yeah, I know what
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about. But
yeah.
Dairy,
So-
but they have in Dairy Queen.
What if we had shelled mayonnaise?
Oh, a diabolical
Because
creation.
I think if we put shelled mayonnaise in the stew, the
Yeah.
stew's hot. If the stew was lukewarm or cold, it would keep its form, and then you just would have dollops of floating mayonnaise.
and that is
It would
truly
dissolve.
awful.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
like, sour cream. Oh, mayonnaise.
Oh. Mouthful of
I
mayonnaise.
don't know if Terrance would touch it if he found one.
All right, Terrance is a vision impaired. We are assaulting a visually impaired man.
Oh my
Visually impaired
gosh.
and stinky.
Double
Maybe one's
whammy.
because of the other. All right, maybe he just has struggles.
He can't find the shampoo.
Oh my gosh.
I like
Well,
how he's going for shampoo and not soap.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, he can't find it.
Either way, he does
Can't
not know
find
what
either.
he doesn't know what he's got going on over there.
All right. Now let's say Terrance's brother, Philip, is a great guy,
Love
and
Okay,
you're like,
Philip's
all
great.
right, let's make a good Phil stew.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what would be your ingredient in the communal, happy, non-aggressive
Mm-hmm.
potluck stew? Now I'll go first to give y'all a minute. Now we like to let's actually first vote on the base of the stew. Do we want it to be like a beef stock, a chicken stock? What other stocks? A salt stock, is that a thing?
I can only ever I only ever think of beef, chicken, and a vegetable stock. I'm not
Yeah.
well versed
Vegetable
other
stock.
than the third those
Yeah,
three.
I
Yeah.
think there might be some fish stocks,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I
that
think they're
makes
more
sense.
popular in, not America.
Yeah, so one of those maybe.
Let's do a fish stock. I don't know what
Okay,
that
we'll do a
is.
I've had fish
stock.
soup before,
So-
so,
so- okay, we can
is
do
there,
that.
Is there fish
Yes.
stock and fish stew?
I'm
What
pretty sure.
What would it be? What would the stock be made of? Because like beef stock is bones, isn't it?
It's literally, I think it's
Fish
fish,
have
bones.
bones.
and
Is it fish
skin.
bones? I know fish have bones.
Fish have bones.
That's true. That's true. I wonder what kind of fish.
Yeah.
True.
What
This.
kind of fish?
Mm,
Anyway,
What are you putting in this fish stew?
so yeah, this is gonna be a fish stock stew. There's not to be fish in it, but it is a fishy stew.
Okay.
With that in mind, I don't know anymore actually.
Base flavor. Okay, then I'm typically doesn't like lemon and like acidity kind of go well with like seafood flavors,
think
fish
so.
and
I
everything
think
like that.
so.
I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of like fresh herbs and like lemon and stuff like that. So maybe I would brighten it up a little bit with some of that. throw some lemon in there.
Throw some lemon.
Throw some
Yeah.
fresh herbs in
Okay.
there.
So we have a lemony fish stew.
To brighten up
stew.
the bones.
Yeah, nothing says fish stew like the smell of your cleaning supplies. So
What? You don't
Wow.
like? Do you not like? What? Why?
well, all the lemon that I encounter comes from cleaning supplies.
you have to
Really?
broaden. You have to broaden your
Have
perspective.
you
I-
never had like lemony fish before?
Yeah, you
I
never
had
a
lemon
good-
chicken, but we burned it on accident.
Oh,
That's-
bad
And
experiences
I
with lemon.
put
see.
lemon in drinks like lemonade and like drinks,
You should try it on top of
You
fish.
gotta try it. It is.
I don't
Fine.
eat a lot of fish.
We
If
should
you
try
ever
some
find
fish.
yourself
I eat a lot
Sometime.
of spaghetti. You know what I figured out?
I eat a lot of spaghetti.
As an Italian American, my Italian American grandfather was enormous. But the rest of his family, like above him, who were in Italy, were not. And I kind of figured out why when we went to Italy. Italian Americans, we eat the like funny stereotypical Italian stuff. A ton of spaghetti, a ton of meat, just all of that. But in the
Bread.
Mediterranean, they eat a lot of fish and they eat a lot of vegetables. And
Yeah.
that didn't translate when they moved to America.
Wow, that would explain a lot.
Like the diet's completely like it is a real Mediterranean diet, Mediterranean diet, and so like it's really good and it's not that bad. It's pretty healthy, and like olive oil can be like really good for your skin, which is part of the
Yeah.
reason why all those Italians caramelize under the sun. Anyway, it's also why I tan, which is really nice. It's really nice.
Wow.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, we did. Our poor Italian Americans, we didn't get that.
Not at all. I mean, Olive Garden, you were way off base.
No,
You were
yeah.
way off
Those
base, Olive
breadsticks?
Garden.
Those breadsticks.
Really good, but not at all. Not at all the vision. I feel like we were
Missed
going
the
for.
missed the
No.
plot, guys.
No.
Missed the Olive
And they're like
Garden plot.
Mediterranean stuff will have like one olive in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
It's like I
sad.
need more olives. I need a
Yes.
lot more.
Yeah.
especially if it's called.
What's
Olive
your
Garden.
favorite kind of olive? I'm a black olive kind of guy.
Whoa. I think I'm also a black olive person.
I don't think
But-
I'm much of an olive person. I mean, I don't hate them. I'm not an olive hater, but I don't find myself ever seeking out an olive.
But is there an olive you don't like? Like I was never a fan of green olives.
See, I would go if I had to do an olive. I would definitely go black olives. Not a fan
Have
of.
you guys had like
Interesting.
the green olives with like the stuff inside of it?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
stuffed
What
olive.
is the
Never
stuff? Is
had
it pepper?
That. I heard blue
Usually-
cheese. I heard
Usually
people
it's
have.
pepper. Sometimes they'll put cheese in it, like
Yeah.
feta cheese. I've had that.
I had one over a martini once, but it was because we were on vacation and it was cool.
Living a
I've
little.
never, I know, I've never had a martini since then. I don't even know what's in it.
Shaken, not stirred.
I had it shaken. Wait, I had it stirred. My bad.
Stirred, not shaken.
Yeah.
I didn't even know like martinis were. I mean,
Or a real thing. You just thought it was in James Bond.
yes, Jack. That's totally what I was gonna say.
Sorry.
No, I meant like I didn't know that they were like. I don't think they're salty, but like I didn't know you could just like pair it with an olive. And it
Yeah,
would-
I don't really
True.
get that.
Yeah.
I had them together and I didn't think they go together.
Oh.
Yeah,
Like-
maybe it's just for cool people.
I think
Yeah.
I think someone just wanted an olive and everyone else was like, that person I'm
Wow.
pretty sure knows what they're doing.
They're like, what
And
a
we've
choice.
all followed them.
Mm.
Wow, an olive. That's crazy.
Whoa.
Guy's
You're
onto
so
something.
cool.
Crazy guys. No, I'm not a huge fan with meat with drinks. Well, meat.
Meat with the drink.
Meat with drinks.
Meat with drinks.
Not great.
You know?
Not a good combo.
I only like to drink meat when it is chicken noodle soup.
Wow.
Chicken noodle soup
You're drinking
Although-
meat?
in a blender. Like how are we?
Well,
are
it's
we,
stock. Stock is kind of meat.
When you go, okay, sipping it from the bowl.
But no,
No.
I've never ground up chicken nuggies
I'm
and
so
slurped them.
thankful that you.
I'm so thankful that we clarified that. That would be quite gross.
Are there any meat drinks? I mean, there's shrimp cocktails, but that's not an actual cocktail. That's like a.
Technically, you can make any meat into a meat drink. Yeah, just blend it up.
But are there any real
Has
ones?
anyone done it?
I
Can you think of a meat drink?
I don't
I don't know either. I mean, I think the closest thing we get is people drink broth.
I think
Yeah,
you're right on that.
probably.
I don't think there's any I don't think there's like a steak smoothie floating around there that people are enjoying.
I don't know
No.
why you brought up like meat drinks, and I immediately thought of the Lady Gaga like meat outfit.
Oh my
That
There's
goodness.
a
has
Lady
nothing
Gaga
to
meat
do with
outfit.
She like
You've
wore
not
it to
seen
the
this?
like
Why would I-
Grammys or something.
The Grammys?
Yeah, like, it's made out of meat.
She
just
literally
wore a
like
dress made out
it
of
was
meat.
actually meat on her body
That
Real
sounds
meat.
cold.
and her
Yes.
feet.
Very uncomfortable sounding, but it's Gaga, so
So yeah,
No,
slay,
and on
I
her
guess.
head. I just recalled that.
just
It was
everywhere,
Just on her
just head to toe in meat.
Well,
crazy.
her dog must love her.
Adore
That's
her.
great.
She walks by
Probably.
a dog
That's great.
park on the way to
Your cat
How
calling
does
her.
she sit down in the like
Good point.
fancy
An entire
car?
evening.
Yeah, was she a hamburger? Did she have buns? Sorry.
Mm.
Sorry, guys.
Just-
I apologize. That wasn't even a
just-
good
Oh, man.
enough joke. That wasn't a good enough joke.
I don't know. Maybe you should ask Gaga that.
I will
DM her.
not. If I get the chance to ask Lady Gaga
One question and one question only.
it's not going to
Do you
be,
got
was your
buns?
meat outfit fitted with buns as well?
So you could sit down, of course.
So you can sit down.
You know what? Gaga might actually laugh. I feel like Gaga's the type of person who would find that funny. I feel like she might laugh at that. And if any
Probably.
question whatsoever you ask about the meat dress and how she sat down in it.
That's a good question, though. I feel like that would be my one thing I'd
Yeah,
ask
like-
her.
That's a waste of a question. I'm so sorry.
She's
What-
like
what else
secrets to
would
the
you ask her?
industry.
I don't know. Think about it for 5
Well,
minutes.
yeah, okay.
Like, can I have your money? Think the chances
No.
she says yes are low, but the chances she
No.
says wait. But the chances she says yes are not no.
I would probably ask for a job
Or
or
none.
something to work for. I was like, can I work for you in some way? I don't know. She might not say yes. She'll probably say no to me just asking for her money. But if I'm like, can I be in
You
the
guys-
maybe
This
she's
is
more
actually smart.
inclined. To
Maybe
be
I'll
like
ask her a
maybe.
good question and be her friend, and then I can ask her about the meat dress.
I'm gonna try
The
and
plan.
manipulate her to get as much money as possible. Even though
Exactly.
she's very smart and proved it multiple times, and it would be very hard, and I'm not that smart. I would still try.
Or we can just stick with the
mean,
meat dress question. That
Meat
might be
dress
the
question
safest.
might be safer. It might be safer. It might be more politically correct. It
Yeah.
might let me.
You know.
You didn't get
You
where
know,
you are not
when
taking
this-
risks, Jack.
Well, when I'm running for presidency, I don't want everyone to be like, "Well, remember this time that Jack was." See, they don't remember actually.
Wow.
What was I talking about? Remember this time
Meat?
Jack wanted to manipulate Lady
Lady
Gaga?
Gaga?
Yeah, and then before
did I
that,
forget that so quickly?
said a question with buns in the question.
This is gonna be Exhibit A when it comes to you being canceled.
Exhibit A. 2025 in November, you recorded a podcast where you discussed meat buns.
That's
Or
the title of this episode.
Meat buns?
The title has to be meat bun.
No, I don't think that's approved by Ball State.
Oh, boo.
Come on.
I could do buns. I could do
Buns
hot
of
dog
meat?
buns made of meat. I could do hamburger buns made of meat.
Wow.
That's a really
Now that's an
long
episode
one.
I'm clicking on personally.
No, actually, I would. Yeah.
But how sad would it be when you open it and it's just a podcast where we don't
Yeah.
have buns of meat?
What if?
Stay till the end.
What if on top of us talking, there's just like an edit of meat playing the entire time?
Meat?
This is for you meat lovers out there.
I'm not making an edit of meat. I'm not doing
I'll
that.
do it.
Sorry, meat
You'll do
lovers.
it?
Maybe actually, I don't know if I have the time.
I was like, it's almost finals coming up. We're doing all our
Yeah.
final projects, and you're going to make a meat edit?
That's
I'll
top
do it
priority.
in Stan's class.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be a good place to do it.
You know.
He'd approve.
I think so.
I think he'd look over halfway through and be like,
You know what?
yeah.
I like what you have going on over there.
Let me know if you need some meat sounds with that.
You have meat to make sounds with?
No.
What? Okay. If you were last question. If you were to make meat sounds, what would the meat be? I'd pick a diverse meat.
Yeah.
A diverse meat?
Mhm.
What does that mean?
Well, a meat that's capable of many different sounds.
Oh, I see.
Okay,
Like
so-
like if you got a chicken drumstick, you get the harder part of the chicken bone, so you get that, and then you get the meat on top. So like you have that dynamic amount. Plus, it's kind of like tooly.
Mm-hmm. I
So
was
like
also
you
thinking
can.
drumstick.
Yeah. So I think it'd be very handy meat.
You need meat to make sounds with.
I do like a rib,
A rib.
but like one that's like would fall apart.
That's
Yeah.
the tenderness.
Yeah.
You know that tenderness guy?
Yes, the guy who
Yes.
just picks it up.
When it falls off, he just storms off.
Yeah, he goes.
Love him.
Love that guy. So he's so excited, and I absolutely love that.
Every time it's
He
like
knows what's gonna happen.
No.
He's astonished every time at the result.
Blown away. Absolutely blown away. Well, wow, guys, we hit 8 o'clock.
We did indeed.
wow.
This was longer than I thought it was going to be. I really thought we'd be done by now. So
at us.
congratulations. This is
for us.
officially the longest episode this semester. How does it feel?
Ooh, it feels
Yeah.
amazing. First podcast and longest episode.
Yep. This is
Yep.
basically
Quite
the
the
summer
legacy.
solstice of
Yeah.
the podcasts. From now here on out, it'll only get shorter until one day they
stay
die.
tuned.
Because
for
Kennedy
that.
was here. If she wasn't
Yes.
here,
Yeah. What would we have done?
I
I can
know.
yap about hamburger
If you weren't
buns,
here, I don't
apparently.
know what we would talk about. This would be just a weird conversation
For
about
sure.
cryptids.
Yeah.
If it was just you two, you should title it something like two people talking about meat. I feel like
No.
Oh, I don't know
And
if Foster would approve.
on that note, we're gonna say our signature goodbye, which is we all stare at the camera and say, "Go hug a tree." I was about
There
to
you
say
go.
Indian outdoors. Go hug a tree. You ready? 3, 2, 1.
Go
hug
hug
a
a
tree.
tree.